All right, first question for Terry on the left here.
Terry, we've seen so much of what Cespedes can do, but in a lot of ways the play that energizes you is him beating out a play to shortstop. I mean, can you just talk about seeing that and what that meant for you guys?
Well, he talked about the other day that, when we were getting ready when we were in Los Angeles for Game 1, I would walk by him just to say something to him. He said, "It's time to play," and he shows you what he can do. This guy's electrifying on the field. He can do anything he wants, and that kind of hustle shows that he's determined to get a sign and let us ride his back, and he's a dangerous player.
In the back, Bill, we'll catch the mic.
Terry, you talked before the game about how you wanted your players to handle things tonight. Wonder what you thought about how the fans handled things and what that might have added to the atmosphere for the team.
Well, we knew going in it was going to be loud. It was going to be a lot of energy. The response, when our guys came on the field was unbelievable. Certainly, Ruben, him walking out there, I thought meant a lot to all the guys on the club and the fan base. They were tremendous, and when we fell behind, they were still, 100% into it, and I think it helped us come back.
Other questions? Barry, we'll get you the mic.
Terry, when the Dodgers went up 3-0, what did you guys do in particular to shut them down after that?
Well, once again, we always put Matt in a tough situation. I mean, poor guy hasn't pitched in 10 days. Some days he starts, he doesn't, and I've seen this guy pitch a lot of baseball games. He worked harder tonight to give us 5 quality innings than I have seen him work at any time at any start. He didn't have his good stuff. He had to work the entire night to make pitches. He was deep in counts. He was falling behind. He was missing targets. And, I mean, that's what you had to do. He had to go out there and battle, and he just kept us in the game. He's bound and determined that they weren't scoring again. And he came off. As a matter of fact, he came off, and after the second inning, he said, "That's all they're getting."
Right here.
That's all I got off him.
Rich.
Curtis Granderson has had a phenomenal year for you this year, but what has made him a patient hitter yet a dangerous hitter at the same time? And he seems to do both of those things well, Terry.
I think he's very comfortable, Rich. I think the fact that Kevin's here helps him a lot. They have such a great rapport. He was so happy when we hired Kevin, and I think Kevin keeps him calm. Kevin knows his swing better than anybody. I think if he gets out of whack, he can be fixed in a hurry. But you're right. He's had a tremendous year on not only the power front, but on getting on base, too.
Joel, to your left, Terry.
Just to follow up on Curtis, I wonder if this felt like his season to you a little. Like there's a lot of noise around Utley and Harvey and Cespedes, but the biggest hit of the game is probably his hit, which has kind of been like his season, understated but very productive.
Well, Joel, you've been around him more than I have. I mean, in all the years. This guy he's the same way every day. He doesn't look for headlines. He just likes to play. He loves to be in the lineup. He doesn't care where it's at. When he shows up, you're going to get all you can out of him. And right now he's led the way most of the season. And right now, like tonight, when he walks up there, he's dangerous. That's why, I have no problem. And I know his numbers aren't great against left-handed pitching, but I know one thing: you make a mistake, and he can hit one over that fence in a hurry, or against the fence. So he's really played good for us.
Right here, Terry, to your right.
Terry, 2 things. Did the umpires ever issue a warning? And also the commissioner mentioned he was going to speak to both managers before the game. How did that go?
They did not issue warnings. The commissioner, before the game, had Donnie and I and Sandy and Andrew Friedman in, and he just said, listen, he understands, the game the other night, what happened, and the impact it had on both teams. But the game was the most important thing, and we had to go play it correctly. And Donnie and I totally agreed. We just said the one thing we wanted to make sure didn't happen was that nobody on either side or the umpires got too carried away, because as we all know, during the course of a game, someone's going to get knocked down, not intentionally. There's going to be someone who makes a funny slide or something, and it's all part of the game. And he said, I totally understand, but we're going to play the game. And I thought our guys responded very, very well to it.
Seth on the left.
Terry, how do you assess Bartolo's been in the bullpen so far and what kind of role he can play going forward?
He's Bartolo. You know, he comes in, he throws the ball over the plate. He's going to sink it. He's going to cut it. He's going to, move his fastball around the strike zone, but he's not going to change his demeanor. And that's why I put him in. I just wanted him to throw. I wanted strikes, and he came in and did a good job.
Mark?
Terry joked before the game about not wanting to see Kershaw tomorrow. He's pitching tomorrow.
Yeah, I know.
How much of a challenge is it to try to close out the series against him?
Well, I'm going to tell you, Mark, we came into this knowing we were going to see him twice and possibly Greinke twice. That's a tall order for anybody, any team. But it's what it is. So, if we can get our guys home so they can get some decent sleep, they'll come back ready for tomorrow. We got to, he's tough, but he's coming back on short rest. I don't know, how long a leash he's going to have, but we got to make him work as we did the other day in Los Angeles. That's the only way you can. When you face him, you better hunt a pitch and then you better hit it. And if he's on, he's real tough.
To your left, Mike.
Terry, you already talked about the small ball aspect of Uenis this night, but there aren't a lot of guys in baseball that can put the ball where he put it on his home run. What is that? What kind of a lift is just seeing that for you guys? Seeing that kind of a example of power. I mean, does that give you guys any kind of lift also?
Well, home runs mean a lot. I mean, they get guys excited. They get the team excited. Fan base loves home runs, and our team is built on power. And so when we hit home runs, we think we got a chance, big chance to win. And it's all about trying to get on base and then have somebody up there that can hit something, into the seats. And when we do that, we win games.
Mark? We'll take two more after Mark.
You're talking about Matt getting through those innings. What role did Travis have in getting him there? And also, what's his growth been like this year, working with the staff all year and doing the things he's done?
Well, Mark, Travis has come a long way. He first got here. He worked very hard defensively, and then his offense was down. Now last year in the second half he came up and started swinging much better. But our guys like pitching to him. He's a very, very good receiver. He ranks in the top 5 in all of baseball for getting strikes called, and pitchers love that. So, he sits down, but if you watch him between innings, they have a game plan, and which I think is one of the biggest things you can do is how am I going to get the first hitter out of the next inning? And they have a plan going up before they go out there, and he's done a good job.
Take two more on the far left, and then Ian.
Terry, going back to Bartolo, is he a guy you can run back out there after 2 innings because of his experience as a starter and throwing a lot?
Well, I didn't talk to him yet after the game to see how he feels if he can come back tomorrow. We got to protect Steven a little bit. He hasn't pitched in a while, so we got to back him up with some guys that if he can get us through 5 or 6, that'd be great. But if Bart can give us a couple innings tomorrow, it would help. But if he can't, we got John Neeson, we got Robles. So it's about getting Steven as deep into the game as he can get us tomorrow.
In the center, Ian.
Terry, to win a game of this magnitude by that margin without a vintage Harvey performance, what does that say about where your team is right now?
Well, when we came back in that 1 inning, I'm telling you, Matt was determined that he was going to go out there and shut him down, even though he didn't have his best stuff. And I think each inning we came in after that, when we kept seeing zeros up there, the guys relaxed and put better swings on the ball and had better at-bats. And, even though he's out there and everybody on the club knew he didn't have his best stuff, I still think he's going to win. That's just, that's the demeanor that he carries around. Hey, I'm winning this game, and it always helps the offense when they know that, hey, look, they're not scoring anymore.
Terry, thanks very much. Appreciate it.